is TV media personnel people and Twitter. If Justin Fields goes to another team, they are Super Bowl bound, is what they're saying.
Straight away.
Mike Greenberg was one of the first ones. You put Justin Fields on the Steelers, I think they're a Super Bowl contender. And then it just trickled down where now people are talking about. I think RG3 said this is going to change the NFL forever if they trade him or do whatever. This is one of the biggest things to ever happen. RG3 is an idiot. He is an idiot that's had too many concussions. That is an idiot. I don't know how he has a job on TV. That's what I think. I think he just I do not like RG3. I loved him as a player, loved him then. He got into TV. He goes with the narrative of whatever ESPN and Fox, mainly ESPN, tells him what to say, goes with it. Stephen A. Smiths of the world, idiots. He's a clown. Like, all these people are just wanting him to be good so bad. Where do you come up with the idea that if you put him on another team that they're going to the Super Bowl? If that was true, the Bears would have went to the Super Bowl this year. Well, I can already hear Twitter. Well, look at the offensive coordinator. Look at the players. Look at this. Like, he didn't have a chance. Shut up. What makes you think, number one, going to the Steelers makes him a Super Bowl contender?
Well, that's, yeah.
Putting him on Atlanta Falcons, what makes that a Super Bowl contender? This is not Tom Brady, where if you back then put Tom Brady on a team, you're talking Super Bowl because of what Tom Brady can do. Peyton Manning went to the Denver Broncos, Super Bowl. Before we knew Russell Wilson was going to suck, they put him on the Denver Broncos, and what was the first thought? Well, they're going to compete for playoffs and maybe try to get to the Super Bowl. You know, like, where does that aura come from? What has Justin Fields proven that he can do those things? They wanted Justin Fields to be Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is not all the cream of the crop either. I really think Bears fandom wanted him to be Lamar Jackson or a Russell Wilson. A Russell Wilson that could throw the ball, make certain runs when he needs to. And I don't know where all that came from. Like, I pulled up stats. Like, Lamar Jackson, he has 15,000 passing yards. He only completes 64% of his passes. Justin Fields has 6,674 in 3 years. He completes 60%. Jalen Hurts has 11,000 passing yards. You want to bring up more stats? CJ Stroud's better. Why is he better? In this year alone, 4,108 passing yards.
That still is. That's one of the most. It is arguably I would say the most insane rookie season I've ever seen in my lifetime is CJ Stroud last season. He has almost straight out like that.
He almost has as much passing yards as Justin Fields does. Well, look at the offensive coordinator. Look at this. Shut up. The best players overcome those type of things all the time. All the time. But I don't know why we want him to be like Lamar Jackson either. Lamar Jackson's 2-4 in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think that they want the success. My thing with the whole Jackson thing. Look, a lot of why any of the fan accounts or fans I talk to that love Justin. First off, the personality is the guy is a very friendly and forward person. I agree with that. Look, I think anyone that a fan can relate to, you're going to have people that are going to be fans of them. Like, let's be frank, there were a lot of fans of Mitch Trubisky when Trubisky was around here that didn't want Mitch gone. Now, people seem to forget about that, but Mitch was a very similar type of guy. He was for the team. He was a very friendly guy. I think the difference is that Mitch, to a point, almost became like for the team over-dependent, whereas Justin did later this year start kind of showing signs it was against, and he was for his own interests, but still tried to resist that because of public pressure. Chicago's a very intense market for media. You know, we all remember some of the comments about coaching earlier in the season that got him into hot water. But part of it's the personality. And I think just, look, everybody pulls up the same two things for Justin Fields. And it's why people gravitate, I see as well, to him. It's because he's fast. When he gets an open field, dude's quick as hell, and I get it. I've seen these plays too. Dude is insanely fast, okay? When he's in running and he's able to run, he's fast. However, teams have adjusted to running quarterbacks more so over the years. Still isn't perfect science, but people work on it. B, you can't always run. Eventually you got to pass. It just doesn't work, which leads to B. The other part why people love Justin Fields, and it's again just based on everything I've seen over the years, that cannon of an arm brings so much to the conversation. It has been 3 years, Steve, and I still see people bring up film from that 2019 matchup between Clemson and Ohio State, where he goes off on Clemson. And while I go, yes, that is impressive, that is an amazing feat, that was, well, even for this clip, it's been 5 years, 4 years as of last year. And so I go, yes, you're right. We know. And I tell people, we get it. He's got a cannon of an arm. This dude can sling it deep. Here's the truth. You can't always do that in the NFL. You have to do dump-offs and intermediate passing game. And while I will say he improved in the dump-off game last year, he definitely started to, intermediate passes for him are still hit or miss. And that's a lot of NFL QB's bread and butter is intermediate. Tom Brady, for most of his career, up until his second act with New England going into Tampa Bay, was a freaking middle of the field, mid-game passer, bread and butter guy that would dink and dime you down the field and basically death by 1,000 cuts you. Yep. He was smart like that. I have not seen that from Justin in 3 years, and I don't think the NFL has seen that from Justin. Now, people still go to those attributes of he's a great runner, he has the deep bomb. That's fine. But again, good defenses, they don't allow those explosive plays all the time. You eventually have to take what the defense gives you. Justin has not done that enough to where it justifies to me saying that he's going to be a guy that the Bears are going to lean on as getting him to the promised land. And the North is getting harder, man. Detroit's still going to be there. Green Bay, with the youngest roster in the NFL, swept us this year with a quarterback that Bears fans said was a joke. Now, credit the new arguments about freaking Matt LaFleur's a genius at OC, but guys, Jordan Love's good. Jordan Love knows how to pass to people. Yes, he underthrows sometimes, but the thing is, he does the stuff Justin Fields can't, which he takes the defense's things that they give to him, and he has been slinging it. If it wasn't for C.J. Stroud, we'd be talking about Jordan Love in his first true year starting more, and they still do. You tell me, the North just looks even harder. It just looks even harder. Minnesota is the only team we can compete with, I think, that we're I feel guaranteed to go and finish at a better record because I don't think you're getting Kurt back. So, it's the running and the deep ball passing, Steve. It's always been how they lean it. Those two and his personality. It's those three things. And I get it, but at some point, where do we talk about the actual balling of this?
Well, Mitch Trubisky's stats. His first year at the Bears, 2,193 passing yards. Second year, 3,223. Next year, 3,138. Next year, 2,055. He played better than Justin Fields has when he was with the Bears. Now, I know it's fallen off since. If you can't have better stats than Justin and then Mitch Trubisky, and you can't do that, and that goes to a great point. I even wrote it down on here. I have two other things because I started to see this. You have like Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner has straight out come out and said that he doesn't think Justin Fields has come out and proved it enough. We get blinded by the fact that he is super athletic. I have never once came on a podcast or done one by myself that said that he is not an athletic person. I've never once said he's a bad person. I'm talking about playing the quarterback position that gets you into the playoffs and try to compete for at least an NFC title. Forget the whole Super Bowl thing. We got to at least try to get to the NFC title game. We haven't been there since 2018 with Mitch Trubisky, mind you. You haven't done it since. Stop being blinded that he is super athletic. We get blinded by when you're making food and you get a little flash in the pan and it excites you and you're jumping up oh my God. Yeah. When he breaks away a 60-yard run for a touchdown, that's the flash. We're like, oh my God, did you see that? He made a super athletic play. Oh my God. Cool. I love that because that puts defenses on their toes. Mm-hmm. But guess what? Are we looking to just kind of compete? You know who else does that? Lamar Jackson. Then what happens to Lamar Jackson in the playoffs? That flash in the pan is gone. He might do something, but they're like, hey, you have to beat us in the game that you struggle at the most. That's what a defense is going to do to you when you get in the playoffs. You know who does that to us very well? The NFC North. Why does the NFC North do that to us so well? Because we play them twice. When you play a team just once, they're worried about other stuff. They're worried about this. They're worried about this. So sometimes they're not always going to stop you. But you cannot live and die by him just taking off and running. Oh,